Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the Mecca Media Morning Show, and I'm your host, the Goddess Ebony. Good morning, Brother Hiram. How you doing today?
Listen, I am pretty fair for a square. What the hell? What are you doing sitting there?
You know, I'm trying some stuff new. You know, I don't typically do the video thing, but I'm expanding my wings. I'm here. I'm doing something.
Yeah, you're usually on a podcast. You got a podcast. I usually see your beautiful awareness and likeness on your podcast. Tell somebody about your podcast.
It's called the God and the Goddess Podcast, if you don't already know, with myself and Brother Hiram Akeem. It's mainly a relationship podcast, but not totally. We also tackle current affairs every once in a while, but we try to give you a little bit of relationship advice with some funny.
You funny as hell. You're funny. You be on the Facebook, but the podcast is dope, man. It's dope that you're doing your thing on it.
All right, well, Brother Hiram, thank you very much for all the compliments. You know, I just love them. Why don't you hit them with that inspiration of the day?
Inspiration of the day. Check this out. God said He only help those who help themselves. Let me say that again.
Say it one more time. I don't think they heard you.
God said He only help those who help themselves. What do you think about that?
I think, you know, it's blatant what it's saying. You know, you can't expect somebody to help you if you're not doing nothing for yourself. You can pray to God and God will hear your prayers, but you got to put action behind those prayers. Move your feet, move your butt, do something, but put work with those prayers. That's basically what that means.
I like that. That makes a lot of sense to me. Make it happen, Captain.
Now that we finished that inspiration of the day, why don't we move on to a little bit of information of the day? And you know, we get that from the
Reporter newspaper, girl.
I don't know why that is so hard for me to say. When I'm not on the spot, I say it, no problem. But as soon as somebody asks me, I mess up. But it's the reporternewspaperonline.com. Let me say that one more time. The reporternewspaperonline.com.
Well, all right. It's all right. I was about to call you somebody else up here, but I ain't going to say the name.
It's all right as long as you don't call me late for dinner.
You better say it.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the article that we're going to talk about, which I got from the reporternewspaperonline.com. Right here, as you can see. And we're going to be talking about Snoop Dogg. And it says Snoop Dogg is to vote for the first time this November. And I'm going to read a little bit of the article for you just so I can give you a little background. Snoop Dogg says he's going to vote for the first time in his life this November. Not because he never wanted to vote. He thought legally he was not allowed to vote. As many of you know, Snoop Dogg is a felon. And for many years, he was brainwashed into thinking that he couldn't vote because of that felony, as many Black Americans have been. I know my grandmother thought that for years, but it is a lie. If you have a felony, you are allowed to vote. There are certain stipulations that may prevent it, but in most cases, you can vote. And if you have a felon, I expect to see you at them ballots this November, getting that man up out of office, because he don't care about you, but we do.
Is that Snoop Dogg's one of his issues too? He don't like what's going on with the Trumpster?
Yeah, he definitely doesn't have like Trump. He's had a long history of not liking Trump. It goes back years, and I remember in 2011 they did a roast on Donald Trump, and he was one of the people that roasted him. And Snoop Dogg is quoted as saying that he can't stand that punk in office, and that's why he's voting, because he doesn't want him there one more year. So I applaud Snoop for getting the word out about that lie about felonies and for voting. Voting is very important. All right, now that we've tackled that, Brother Hiram, it's time for the Black Thought of the Day. Why don't you hit him with that?
Well, the Black Thought of the Day, you almost caught me out here today. But I'm trying to make sure I got something here. The Black Thought of the Day, we're going to talk about Juneteenth.
Juneteenth.
Okay? Just to make it really quite clear, Juneteenth is the holiday celebrating Black liberation, meaning when we was once enslaved, Juneteenth is the day we were free. Now, here's the deal. People were like, why is it called Juneteenth? Because we were so-called emancipated June something. About the time it got down to you, it was June something. It was in the teens somewhere. So that's why they give it an honorary teenth.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So this is the day that we should be celebrating. This is truly our independence.
Absolutely.
So if you're celebrating July the 4th and you're Black and you don't even acknowledge Juneteenth, I have to second guess your consciousness, okay? That's the Black Thought of the day. Y'all better film me before they kill me.
I heard that. And actually, you know, speaking of Juneteenth, I'm going to this year celebrate Juneteenth and not celebrate July 4th, which I usually don't celebrate July 4th. I might cook, but I don't usually celebrate. But this year, I'm not going to do anything on that day. Boycott it.
Well, you know the day? When is it this year? Is it the 19th?
Yes, the 19th this year. And so that's the day I'll be celebrating, as many Black Americans have decided to boycott July 4th and celebrate Juneteenth, and I will be standing with them. All right, now that we've got that
Out the way?
out the way, yeah, I'm sorry. Now that we got that out the way, we're going to talk about the business of the day. And the business of the day is motivational speaker Jay Black, Akron's very own. Jay Black has a very, very big announcement coming up the 20th of this month, so stay tuned for that. But in case you can't wait for that big announcement, why don't you check him out on his very own website, which is jblackinspires.com. You can always get a lot of great information about what he has done and what he's currently doing right there on that website.
Yeah, he do some big things.
He does.
That, what the hell was that thing? We was there. He had a award ceremony.
Yeah, award ceremony for some kids in the community that he's been working with, which I thought was very good. You always got to build kids up.
That's
Look,
the
right
program.
here, this is the program. Success is the only option. So I was honored to be at that award ceremony, and I like to see people doing positive things with the kids in the community. They need to know that they have the power to do whatever they want to do, and I applaud him for making them know that.
Jay Black doing some things.
He certainly is. All right, and before we get out of here, I'm gonna go ahead and once again mention where you can find me. You can catch me on my podcast, the God and the Goddess podcast. You can find that podcast on Facebook or on AkronHipHop.com. You can find me on Facebook, Ebony Harris. And thank you for joining us for the Mecca Media Morning Show, and we will catch you next time.